Hey everyone, welcome back to the layout. The Union Pacific Railroad Evanston subdivision in HO Scale. My name is Daryl Cruz. I'm the owner and builder of the layout and your host for another update on progress on the Union Pacific Railroad Evanston sub. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. Had a lot of good food, time with family and friends. Have a lot to be thankful for. I won't list everything, but I, of course, want to mention the most important ones, which is my faith in my Savior and the most wonderful train wife you could ever imagine, and a great family, and just enjoying my retirement so much. So lots and lots to be thankful for, and I hope you also had a very thankful and blessed Thanksgiving. Now on to the layout and what I did during the Thanksgiving week. This is what things looked like at the beginning of the week. This is what I did last week down there. And so I wanted to get this little corner of the layout done and get it all ballasted. And basically I want to get this whole room done. That's kind of the goal. Getting all of this done. So this room will be finished. Now, when I say finished, I mean finished with the basic scenery. The idea is I'm going to go around and do all the basic scenery and then come back and do a lot of detailing on the layout. Now, I needed to get things prepared. First of all, I needed to protect the backdrop, but then I also had some cracks between the pieces of plywood that I needed to get filled in, otherwise the ballast will go straight into the cracks. And then I also needed to protect the backdrop. For the cracks, first of all, I have this these big holes basically I needed to fill, and I kind of just traced some cardboard, you can see there. Stuck the cardboard on the fascia and then just kind of traced the curve and then cut the angles so that it fit. Didn't have to fit perfectly, but just needed to be enough to fill in the space and kind of support any plaster or spackling I was going to put in there. Now for protecting the backdrop, this is what I use. This is a part of the styrene backdrop from the Geneva sub that I've been reusing, and I cut it off right here so that I could see down the line for the upper level all the way down there. So I cut a big, pretty long strip, maybe 15, 20 feet long, and I decided that would be a good thing to use to protect the backdrop. So here it is. Now for the other section last week, I used playing cards because it's more of an uneven topography. Here it's all flat with just the plywood straight, and so I just was able to put this down. Use some paint stirrers to hold it up so that it didn't fall down. And it's made of styrene, so no water is going to penetrate it. I was a little bit afraid of it, water maybe wicking up from the bottom, but it didn't, so that was good there. Now I was going to use spackling paste here, but decided instead just to use plaster. I figure it'd be stronger, especially for those big holes on the curve of the fascia. So I mixed up a batch of plaster and basically just slopped it in there, and then I masked everything off and then painted all the track. You can see by the way the paper around the signals, I just coiled up some paper, put it down and folded it over, and then here you can see the painted track. Now here I think I just have the red painted, or the rust color. I haven't painted it brown yet, I don't think. I think it is painted brown too. It's kind of hard to tell from the video, but if I look at what's on the, I don't know. We'll see on the next video. Here I think is where it's all painted brown. and I have all the masking tape removed. I did also remove all the paint off of the top of the rails. And was going to get things ready for ballasting. Now, one thing I did also, if you can see here, by each nail head, I put some super glue to hold the track down, because I wanted to remove the nail heads before I started adding ballast. Here you can see the brown paint on there. It definitely is painted brown. Sorry for the confusion there. But I went all the way around and put some super glue by each nail head, and then gave it a good half hour to dry. Super glue doesn't usually take that long, but I wanted to make sure I gave it plenty of time to adhere. And then I pulled all the nail heads out before I ballasted. And now have the main line ballasted with the gray that I've been using all the way around. And then I have not been painting the plywood. Instead, I just putting the ballast right on top of the plywood. Now, the reason why I'm not putting any ground foam in or anything is the backdrop pictures of the yard in Evanston. There's no foliage at all. It's just all dirt and ballast and rocks and stuff. So, kind of wanted to replicate that. I wanted the foreground to match the background. Now here you see I had a crack that I did not fill in there. And again, I just put the plaster or the ballast right over on top of everything. Now, when I first did the ballast on the plywood, it was kind of monochrome color. It did not look good, so I went back and used a bunch of different colors. Some buff and gray to kind of make it more of a varying colors, which is the way it is in real life. You don't just have one straight color. So that's kind of what I did there. So it definitely looks better. I kind of used the buff to kind of extend the gravel road that goes down to UTLX. And so So I think I may continue to add some more different colors. You'll see in a little bit when I remove the styrene protecting the backdrop that it doesn't quite match the backdrop pictures. I think I need to add some more gray here, but here you can see everything's kind of ballasted in. It is good to use different color ballasts for the main line and as opposed to the yard, so you can see which tracks are mainline. And here I have it soaked. I use 50-50 water and white glue. Soak it first with just plain water, a couple drops of soap to get it wet to begin with, and then I just use a dropper to put the 50-50 mixture onto the ballast. And usually when I do the ballasting, I usually have to go back after it's all done. I have to go back and kind of touch up different areas before it's finally to where I like it. And you notice I got quite a bit of water and glue on the engine facilities there, but that was not a problem. Was able to clean that off pretty well. Right here I have the yard throat ballasted, and also the glue applied. One thing about ballasting is that once you start it, you can figure on at least a couple days of there not being any trains running, because it takes that long for the glue to dry thoroughly. Now, some people said to use a fan. I might try that sometime. I don't have a fan that oscillates, but that probably would help things a little bit. But here you can definitely see everything's pretty well all ballasted and glued down. So once I got to this point, then it was just a matter of letting it dry thoroughly. And here's what it basically looks like now. And it was able to clean most of the stuff off of the engine facility there, and got the building back on. I did pick up some vehicles from Lombard Hobbies. They got the UPS van there making a delivery. Also have some dumpsters there. Here you have a perfectly clean, empty dumpster. Don't see that very often. We'll definitely need to do a lot of weathering on the dumpsters, obviously. You can see I also removed the styrene. Now this tractor here, I'm going to remove that. That's too big compared to the snowplow. I got some snowplow there from Lombard Hobbies also. That tractor is not the right size proportionally. It's too big. So that's a little cutout that I added to that picture to hide a seam. So I'm going to remove that and try and work something else. I think in this little area here, I'm going to put some sectional track. The prototype usually has some sectional track that's laying around. I'll probably put some rails down there also. So maybe have it be a maintenance away. Here you can see the difference between the ballast in the picture and the ballast on the layout. So I definitely need to add some more gray in there. I don't want it to be the same color as the track, so I might have to put some like gray black mixture. I think Woodland Scenics makes that, so I might get that in and add that so it blends in better. So you can see the transition from what I did last week to what's been done this week. And again, I'll have to fill in some different areas. And then this next week, I'm going to be doing some more. I'm going to try and work up to about right here with the ballasting. So this little corner here is going to be done. So that'll be this coming week, and then the week after that, I'm going to try and do up to about right here. And then the third week, I'm going to finish it all the way around, hopefully. So 3 weeks, I'm thinking. Hopefully we'll be able to get this whole area done in 3 weeks. Might be 4 weeks. I guess my overall goal is to have it done by Christmas, which is 4 weeks away, I believe. But here's how things look right now. I'm making my way across the room. Now, in the previous little scene, you may have noticed a porta potty. I had some friends over, and they kind of put together this porta potty. Larry Doss was here, and he put together this using CAD drawings and 3D printing, and the amount of detail on here is amazing. If you look at they have a number. Now they actually do have these, by the way. These are real. They do put them on these little carts, and when they get to the work site, they put them down and they, I guess, roll them around for whoever needs to use the restroom. So I'm hoping to eventually someday get a maintenance away train going with a couple flat cars and gondolas, and have some equipment on the flat cars and ties and rails in the gondolas, and make that part of the operations. So definitely a big shout out to Larry. Also had another Larry, and Bill and John were there visiting. So shout out to all those guys, and thank you very much for the porta potty. I think there's only 6 of them in HO scale in existence. So I was very happy to have that on the layout, and looking forward to making it part of the maintenance away on the Union Pacific Railroad Evanston subdivision. Now we got to see some trains going through here. We have a ethanol tank train going through. This is the area that I did last week. And then the area that I did this week. Notice I put in some trees also, and some scale trees to replace the woodland scenic trees. Definitely look a lot better. I am going to have to put a lot of details. There's a lot of empty space, and I'm definitely going to have to figure out ways. I'm already, added some dumpsters and some vehicles. That always is a big part of it. But just, various different things that are, that I can add to kind of make the whole area come to life. And again, the plan is to just do the basic scenery like we have here, with and not focusing too much on details, and get the whole layout done to that degree, and then go back around everything a second time, and then add all the details. And that's actually going to be the fun part, although it's been a complete blast so far in the 2.5 years that I've been working on this layout. But the detailing definitely is one of the more fun parts of the hobby. Here we have a coal train coming through. The engine house needs a lot of work yet too. Weathering, have to paint the roof. I like the snowplow. I also got that from Lombard Hobbies. Those are both Walthers vehicles. Having a hard time finding modern vehicles. Not too bad as far as getting trucks and stuff, but just getting cars, automobiles. I haven't found too many of those. May have to go the route of 3D printed. This Bill and Larry and John, they're kind of into doing a lot of the CAD drawings. They were showing me some pictures of the layout that they're working on, and this layout's really highly detailed. It really kind of got me excited about putting detail on this layout. But a lot of the details that they add, they do on their own using 3D printing. And it really looks great. They had a turntable that looked awesome. That was actually done with PVC, but a lot of the detail and stuff on the turntable was done with 3D printing. So definitely have to be looking at that as a way of getting detail on this layout. Here we have a stack train. The coal train met the stack train coming through. I think I've done quite a bit of scenery here the last few weeks, so I think one of these days, maybe this week or the next week, this is pretty cool when they have them both going on both levels. But anyway, either this week or next week, I think I might do a cab view video through here. Be interesting to see how it looks going through with the backdrop and everything through the scenes that I've been adding. Be interesting to see how it looks on the upper level and then going through this part of Evanston. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you're starting to get into the Christmas spirit, and I hope you get a lot of train goodies for Christmas. But thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment, and have a great week. See you again next week. Take care, everybody.